Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This Shabbos is Shabbos Parshat Vayishlach. In Parshat Vayishlach, we have a very famous story, and that is the story of Yaakov and Esav. Yaakov is hoping for reconciliation with his brother Esav, and he goes to, he sends angels to greet him. And Esav sends his angel to greet him, and this angel, instead of greeting Yaakov, has a tremendous fight with Yaakov. Yaakov is victorious over this angel, and this angel, after winning over this angel, changes Yaakov's name. He says, you'll no longer be called Jacob, but you'll be called Israel. And that's how we get the name Israel. We're called the Israelites, the Jewish people from Yisrael, from this angel, the Esav's angel that fights with Yaakov on that very special night. And Yaakov wrestles and he wins over this angel. But in that process, Yaakov gets hit on the Kaf Hayerech, on his sciatic nerve. And because of that, Yaakov limped. But also because of that, we have a very interesting Jewish law, kosher law, which is something that many of you may not know, but it's now you'll understand why. And until today, we do not eat the hindquarters of an animal. It says in the Torah, in the 5 books of Moses, Ad hayem hazeh, therefore we do not eat the kaf hayerech, the sciatic nerve, until today. And therefore you'll find that you don't really have any kosher T-bone steak, kosher real filet mignon. If you go to a kosher restaurant and they say it's filet mignon, it's really a center cut of the beef. No New York strip, no picanha. Some of the best cuts of the animal, the hindquarters of the animal, are not allowed to be eaten. Well, it's not actually the hindquarters are not allowed to be eaten. It's a nerve. It's a sciatic nerve that goes through this part of the animal. There's actually Sfardim that have what's called the nikor. They have a smicha, they have ordination from the time of Moses that they know how to remove this vein and this nerve, and that makes the meat kosher. But in the Ashkenaz world, and you'll find in all kosher restaurants or kosher stores, you won't find this meat because it's not primarily accepted. And so, why is it at this moment that, besides that we are learning that we can't eat the best parts of the meat out of a kosher animal, out of a cow, out of beef? And so why is it that we can't eat this until today? Because of an angel that fights with Jacob on a night that gives him the name Yisrael. This whole story is fascinating because we don't have anything else like that. We have many wars in the Torah. No other wars forbid us to eat something. And what happens when we don't do something? Like what happens when we fast? When we fast, we remember why we're fasting. Like on Tisha B'Av, we fast and we recall the destruction of the Holy Temple. On Yom Kippur, when we fast, it's a very special day for us. And it makes us feel holy. And so when we do things on certain days, it has a meaning to us to remember. And so what is the purpose of remembering that we can't eat the best parts of the steak other than wanting, some real kosher filet mignon? And the answer is, this was the first time that Yaakov fought. The first time that Esav says, I'm going to kill Yaakov, what does he do? He runs away to Lavan. Rivka sends him and runs away. What happens when he starts fighting with his brother-in-law, his father-in-law, and with Lavan? He then sends him out. He starts running away. And so Yaakov is that Jew that doesn't focus on anything in life other than running away from all of his enemies. And he's never ready to take them on. Whereas this was the first time that he actually wrestled. He actually fought back. And as a Jew to fight back, therefore, till today, we're reminded that we don't eat this type of meat, the filet mignon or the T-bone steaks, the sciatic nerve, because to remind us that as a Jew, we need to fight back. As a Jew, this is how we got the name Yisrael. The name we got, Israel, is only when we started to fight back. And so it's obviously, Baruch Hashem, we thank our soldiers in Israel. I was an incredible Friends of IDF, Duvdevan Division last night, and seeing the incredible army that we have as soldiers, but it also means that we fight back however we can, because we're not all physically going to start fighting in the streets. It's not where Jews are not made for violence, but we are able to fight back when we see injustice. And that's what it means to fight back when we see there's any injustice, whether it's anti-Semitism and BDS or anything that's happening in this world. When we're quiet, when we just run away, that is when the Jewish people are weak. But Hashem reminds us today that when we see injustice, when we see anti-Semitism, when we see not just the Jewish people, but around the world, when we see injustice, we have to fight back. We have to stand up for ourselves. We have to stand up for others. And that's when we become truly the Jewish people. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and see you tonight, 6 p.m., tomorrow morning at 10:15.